Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan Battle video, and today the worldwide celebration has begun. Cell Max is here, they threw out some new events, but the big thing that a lot of players are going to be interested in is they did give us a new Red God Dragonstone, and in the past, these haven't been that great because the units have been really old and outdated. Well, a couple of things are making this way more significant. One is super easy A, means a lot of these old units can actually be really good pickups. And two, they're starting to like bundle these a lot more. Like you're getting Kais with these. They have a mix of Dokkan Fest and banner units on here. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to give you advice as to what unit or units I think you should choose with the stone. And I think there's going to be a lot of different things based on your situation, right? There are a couple of general things I want to talk about, and then I'll go through some specific units. But one generic thing you want to keep in mind is I would always value a Dokkan Fest over a banner unit. So for example, they have like this banner unit Future 18 that has an easy A, but she's not like the craziest unit in the world. She costs 3 red Dragonstones, but so does Android 13, who's a Dokkan Fest premium easy A unit, right? Who's actually kind of solid. So the one thing I would say is don't grab anything that isn't a Dokkan Fest. You're not getting the value out of this unless you're grabbing a Dokkan Fest, because these banner units, you could see these on any banner on any summon. So you want to pick a Dokkan Fest. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2 to kind of keep in mind here, while I will go through and talk about which units I think are pretty good on here, if you look, there's a section that costs 3 Dragonstones, a section that costs 2 Dragonstones down here. There's stuff that costs 2. And then there's stuff that only costs 1 Dragonstone, okay? Now, I don't know the rhyme or reason behind some of this, because, like, there's banner units that cost 3 and Dokkan Fest that costs 1. I think they're doing it kind of maybe by the age of the unit. But what I'm going to say is another general rule is there's actually, because you get 3 of these stones, there's actually a lot of value in the single stone options. Like, I would probably pick 3 things from there, because there's a lot more value in getting 3 Dokkan Fests over getting like 1 or like 1.5, depending on like what you pick, right? And keeping in mind that super easy is a thing, there's a lot of really great options here, right? So what I'll talk about is I'll kind of shout out which I think are the best units in the game right now. So I will just go down the list, and anything that's good right now, I'm going to kind of highlight it. And then we'll talk about other units that are going to be good probably very soon or in the near future, right? So we'll start at the top. We're going to skip anything that isn't a Dokkan Fest. Android 13's okay, but you probably don't want to get him. There's going to be better things you can grab. Int Goku Black, we all know, got a pretty bad easy A, so probably not him. Let's see what else we got for Dokkan Fest here. This Int Gohan's actually pretty solid. The one thing too is if you're a veteran player, you just grab what you don't have, right? So for example, I had literally everything here rainbowed except STR Jiren, so I did pick up STR Jiren, but for 3 Dragonstones, he's like one of the worst pickups for the average player. I just got him because he's the only thing I needed, so now my Jiren is rainbowed. Tech Trunks, I wouldn't worry about. He's not good enough to pick up here. AGL Zamasu could be a sneaky good pickup. He does stack defense and has like pretty decent amount of damage reduction. I've tried him out in modern content and he does still get crushed even after stacking for a while. So unless you're really in love with like running Goku Black teams, you probably want to skip him too. Okay, so we've got like the modern super EZs are all right here in a row. So I would say the 4 best units, the 4 best units you could get right now would either be AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku, so this guy right here, this guy, or Tech Gotenks, Physical Kid Buu, and Physical Goku Black. I would say overall, Physical Kid Buu to me is the best one to grab. So for your single Dragonstone, like getting Physical Kid Buu is insane value. He's going to be very impactful on probably whatever new Broly teams come out with the download celebration. He's an insane generic support that you just run this guy on any team. He's not dependent on having certain categories or anything. He's got built-in damage reduction, gets to very decent amount levels of defense. So this is like the de facto slot 3 support unit you want to run on any team. So I'd say if you don't have Kid Buu, definitely pick him up. Another question players might have is, should I get dupes? Because with these that cost 1, you can buy this Kid Buu up to 5 times. So you could buy 3 Kid Buus if you want to. I would say if you're like a newer player, you're better off probably spreading out and getting more units you need to help your teams than to go in for dupes. Dupes are going to be for probably mid-range to veteran players that have a lot of this stuff already and you want to like max out on certain characters, right? But yeah, I think it's fairly easy to say if I just glance over this list. We'll glance through the rest of these here. Down at the bottom, there's a lot of like old Dokkan Fest here, right? So like there are some things you could grab. Like any of these old Dokkan Fest down here, like they're probably they will super easy at some point. So there's like any of these you can almost just grab if you want for future proofing. I will say they've been really weird about this. For some reason, they lump this Pycon and this Boo, and these are just banner units, but they're putting them down here with these Dokkan Fest. They only cost 1, but neither of those are worth getting, so don't worry about them. You only grab Kais if you have everything rainbowed. If you need anything, do not grab the Kais. And even if you have everything rainbowed, it's sometimes still good to grab these because you may need copies to like fix hidden potential, which I think could be worth it, right? Now, in terms of what could be impacted in the worldwide celebration, I think the guy you should be gunning for, and here's the thing, you might want to wait until you know for sure, but I would say this STR Broly is something most players are going to want to get if you don't have them. And if you're not a veteran player, you probably don't have this guy. The thing you have to be careful of is there is a ton of summoning you're going to be doing. So there's like tickets that players are getting based on how many summons they've done. So you're going to get a lot of free summons there. Most of these Dokkan Fests are featured on those banners. And these banners, I think I counted, the banners literally have like 50 something featured units. It's absolutely insane. It's the most I've ever seen. Like, it's kind of a different format. I guess I could do a whole video talking about those banners, which I probably will. I'm going to do a separate video talking about like the tickets and how to use them and all that, because those are going to be coming out soon. They're not out at the time I'm recording this video, but they're going to be out very soon. So I'm probably going to drop that video separate. I don't want to get too much into that, but what I will say, it's like 99% likely this guy gets a super easy A, and is going to be very important on the Broly teams. So this is a guy you may want to consider picking up, but in general, you kind of want to wait until you've done your summons before you start going in here and grabbing stuff. You have plenty of time to use these stones, so don't feel like you need to use them right away. Kind of let things play out, because not only is this guy on like the banners where you can use the tickets, if this guy's getting a super easy A, there's actually a decent chance they feature him on like the new Broly's banner. So you want to be careful about grabbing stuff right away before banners have hit. The only reason I was able to grab Jiren is I knew that was the only thing I needed, right? Another unit you want to keep your eye on is down here. I think there's a slight chance this guy could super easy A. It's way more likely that it's the STR Broly because he's older. But this is another unit you might want to keep your eye on. So in terms of like units that aren't good now that are going to get a super easy A, these two Brolys are really heavily on the radar. So you want to just kind of keep your eye out on them. Otherwise, like all of these other old Dokkan Fests, you could feel free to grab any of them. And then just know that they're not good now, but you might want them for down the road. Like STR Gogeta is going to be like probably a super impactful, super easy A. There's a slight chance this guy actually could super easy A during the celebration, because right now it's seeming like the theme is movies. They're doing the countdown to movie 8, so we know that the Broly coming out is going to be from movie 8. The question people are wondering, is part 2 going to be Broly movie 10? Are they going to go to movie 9, which is BoJack? Or would they just do another movie, which, you know, Fusion Reborn could be a movie, right, that they do. So they could do Gogeta Janemba. If Gogeta Janemba is part 2, then this guy is extremely likely to get a super easy and would be incredibly hype. So that's one to keep your eye out on. But like any of these, like this Golden Frieza down the road is going to easy A, super easy A, right? This guy will super easy at some point. Like all of these old Dokkan Fest, if you like Vegito, you could grab this guy. Just know they're not going to be helping you right now. So like I said, if you want a unit that's going to help you right now, so just to give you guys a very clear answer, I say you grab Kid Buu. Kid Buu is what you want to grab. He's the #1 best pick for like best unit right now. Obviously, we don't know how good the super easy A's from this celebration are going to be. They could be very impactful as well. But this Kid Buu, we just know is such a good, solid rock of a support unit that you want to put on every team. Otherwise, grab Gotenks, grab Super Saiyan 3 Goku, or grab Physical Goku Black if you want something that's great right now. But once again, that's what I would be doing. Grabbing one of those, or picking a unit that you think is going to super easy A in the future very soon, like STR Broly. Definitely, though, do not touch any regular banner units, okay? So I will go through the list. I will highlight every unit that is a banner unit, because this is maybe for beginners that don't know the difference between a Dokkan Fest and a banner unit. So I'm going to highlight every unit you should not grab, even if they're good. Do not grab Tech Tapion. Do not grab Physical or AGL Future Androids. Do not grab the Physical Trunks. Do not get the Int Boda Magetta. Do not get Frost. Do not get Champa. Don't get the Trunks or Zamasu there. Do not get Trunks and Mai. Do not get the Tech Future Gohan. Do not get Tech Super Saiyan Trunks. We do not want the Int Mai. You do not want Gowasu Zamasu. You don't want Launch. Do not get Oceanus. Do not get that Tech Super Saiyan Vegeta. And then we're all Dokkan Fests. Yes, all Dokkan Fests. Until the very bottom here. And then don't touch the Pycon or that physical Boo Tank. So make sure you avoid those. As long as then, but beyond that, as long as you're getting Dokkan Fest units you need, it's a win, even if they're not good now, because they'll super easy down the road. But anyways, guys, those are my recommendations. If you have any other specific questions or advice you want on what to pick, feel free to hit me up in the comments, or you can join my Discord, which is in the description of every video. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.